From Wall Street Journal Tech Live, I'm your host, Sehr Thadhani, and today we're here with the CEO of Atlas Obscura, Warren Webster. Warren, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Of course. So CEO of Atlas Obscura, tell us more.
Well, it is the most fun CEO gig in America, I think. I get to think about and travel to some of the world's most fascinating places. We just started a food vertical not too long ago, so get to eat some of the best food. But it's a really fun group, fun business. It's been around about 14 years now.
Okay.
And I joined March 2nd, 2020.
Oh.
Which is an interesting time to join a travel business.
A very interesting time.
I joined March 2nd. By March 13th, obviously the world had turned upside down.
Yeah.
Travel was not happening. And it's been quite a ride ever since.
And tell us some more about the company.
So it started as a crowdfunded database of the world's most fascinating places you don't find in guidebooks, places like the gates of hell in Turkmenistan, or that funny place that you know about in your city that no one else does. And it built this community of people who just love uploading and sharing their favorite places. So it's our mission is to inspire wonder and curiosity about the world, and we did that originally just through the lens of place. And then over the years, it's grown to include professional journalism on top of that crowdsourced atlas. And then we said, hey, we love writing about these places. Why don't we actually take people to these places? And we started a trips business that runs trips now to over 100 destinations every year. We've had more trips run in the last 2 months actually than we've ever run ever. So that's exciting. We've got lots of people out on our trips. We published what became one of the #1 best-selling travel books on Amazon, the Atlas Obscura book, several years ago. Now in our 3rd New York Times best-selling book. We launched our first podcast about a year ago, the Atlas Obscura podcast, which is just 15 minutes a day of a wonderful different place every time. And it just got ranked the #1 podcast in travel on Apple's podcast charts. So we're just doing everything we can to deliver wonder and curiosity to our community.
It's amazing. Do your podcast listeners tune in and then go travel, or do they just dream about everything they hear about?
I think there's a little bit of both. I think there's a lot of dreamers like me who can't always get to all the places, but we're taking people around the world every day with a new episode, and I'm sure that it's inspired a lot of people to get out there. Especially now that people have been locked inside for a couple of years, ready to get out and travel again. In many ways, Atlas Obscura is kind of there for everybody during the pandemic when they were home looking to be inspired, and then now when they're getting back out there and trying to get off the beaten path, to travel a little bit differently than they used to, and it's a pretty exciting time for us.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
What got you into this business? Have you been in travel your whole career?
I haven't. I actually came out of the news business. I co-founded a company called Patch.com that was all about reinventing local news and media, and I worked on that for several years. We sold it to AOL. From there, I went on a funny journey through fashion and beauty for a while, but all from a digital media perspective. And I have always loved travel. I knew about this company, Atlas Obscura, from the day it started. In fact, I spoke to the founder when it first started.
What year did it start in?
It started 2012, I believe. And I got to fact check that because I think it was 2012. And kept in touch with them. And when they were looking for a new CEO, I was like, guys, this is my dream job. We got to talk about it. So I was thrilled when I had the opportunity to join the company.
Did you pitch your dream job, or did it just exist?
I definitely pitched it hard. I was one of many people being considered for the role, but yeah, I told them that I believe that we can create the next generation's National Geographic with Atlas Obscura. That in a few years, Atlas Obscura can be as ubiquitous as National Geographic was to like our parents and grandparents' generation. And we've had a crazy couple of years, but even in the face of a pandemic, we were able to triple our growth, triple our size in the last 2 years.
That's not easy.
We grew our media business by 7x over the last 3 years. Again, launched brand new podcast, another best-selling book. So it's going really well, and I really believe this is the brand for travel for this era, this post-pandemic era.
That's amazing. Well, I'm sure you've inspired everyone listening to tune into the podcast.
Well, thanks. Yeah, no, I hope so. Yeah, check it out. It's just 15 minutes, not a big commitment, and
Perfect.
Daily dose of wonder.
Yeah. As a CEO, what are the hardest decisions you have to make right now?
Well, we had to do a lot of pivoting, and I'm sure everyone's sick of hearing the word pivoting. But our business in 2019 was very much about having in-person experiences and running in-person tours and activities. In fact, we had a major investment from Airbnb to build out our experiences business back in 2019. And we quickly had to turn all of that online, take our experience and trips hosts and turn them into online personas. Launched an online courses division, which is like our sort of fun version of Masterclass. If you want to learn how to taste honey like a sommelier, or storytelling, learn how to be a travel writer, storyteller. I took one about Adobe architecture, so very interesting offbeat. But we had to switch our whole business model from a lot of in-person to a lot of online, and it really worked. So I think the hardest decisions have been just where to invest, where to say, we just can't do this anymore. We're happy with our business model now, and I think going forward, it's all about finding that right mix between online and in person.
Yeah, the hybrid world.
Yeah, just like this conference here.
Absolutely. What do you think the next couple years looks like for your company?
I think it's a lot of growth. We like many companies, looked at the macroeconomic climate that we're facing right now and went from top line growth at all costs to let's get a path to profitability that makes sense. And we're on track to be profitable in early 2023, still growing, doubling our top line revenue. I think this is going to be a couple years of major growth for Atlas.
Amazing. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being here with us today.
Well,
it's been a pleasure to meet you.
This is so much fun. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.